This is Feed Your Mind, and so there's a new movie on Netflix called Troll, and it's filmed in Norwegian, so you're gonna have to watch it in English subtitles or change the audio to English. That's what I did because I don't feel like reading the whole entire movie, so that worked out perfect. I usually don't watch foreign movies, but I had to watch this one because I saw the preview and it looked like it had to do with giants, and the giants were depicted as mountains. So I covered this type of stuff on my Giants playlist about the mountains. And there was actually one stone that looked just like a troll. Now that I know what trolls are said to look like, I didn't know they were giants like this. And I never saw a take on trolls like this either. So honestly, I never really looked into trolls, but I do know a little bit about fairies. So what they call fairy tales are actually monsters and beings, like entities. That's what a fairy is an entity. It could be a number of beings that are mythical types of entities, but they're actually linked to the fallen ones. I'll do a video later. I did a deep research on leprechauns, so you're going to want to hear about this later on, so make sure you stay tuned and subscribed and with your notification bell on. And so about this troll movie, basically, what I found interesting is, like I said, how they depicted the troll as a stone-like creature who actually turned to stone. They're saying like the sunlight turned them to stone. Now there's theories about how these mountains look like giants. So I did a whole video on this before. So there's a lot of depictions of stones that look like creatures and giants and stuff like that. And the theory I came up with, and others, as far as how in real life, how if this is a real thing, if some of these mountains are actually giants, well, how did they become stone? Well, that's one of the most popular theories, is that it had something to do with the flood, and after the muddy water had dissipated, well, the giants that had drowned at the bottom were covered in this mud, and then the sun baked them as they were decomposing and ended up petrifying them into stone. And you can still notice that some of the mountain remains do look like humanoid beings or other types of giant animal creatures. This movie doesn't go into such a complex theory of how they turned into stone, because this movie, The Troll, says that it has something to do with the sun that turned them into stone. They weren't supposed to be in the sunlight, and that turns them into stone. And this one troll was awakened somehow and ended up wreaking havoc on the Norwegian city, and the military had to try to stop them in this movie. And another clue in that movie is how this troll was eating Christians. He didn't like Christians at all, and that is how they depicted the Nephilims. So there's scriptures that say the Nephilims, well, in apocryphal books, that says the Nephilims were eating humans. I've heard this information before, so I found that interesting how this movie elaborated further on this and said that this troll only liked to eat Christians. He liked Christian blood. So it's interesting seeing this movie being depicted. Like, usually you see King Kong or Godzilla or something, some type of big animal, but this is one of the first movies that I can recall where the giant monster, was actually a humanoid looking being. So I found that very interesting. It was like it was a Nephilim. This troll looked just like it would have been a Nephilim, except for it had a tail, and it was like a stone-like creature. But yeah, it did look like this was a movie about the Nephilim. So trolls are actually, it looks like they're linked to that. Another interesting clue that I found in this movie was later on towards the end, they went to this palace where this guy took them to a secret passageway, and it went down below the earth in a tunnel. And as they reached the end of this tunnel, it was a graveyard of giant skulls. So I've seen lots of pictures of giant skulls before, and some people are wondering if this is real stuff. Well, my theory is that there's this group called the Skull and Bones, and then also the Smithsonians, and I suspect them of having a lot of giant bones hidden somewhere. And so in this movie, they depict the area where there was tons of giant skulls and skeletons in the area. And he said no, in the movie, they said no living man has ever saw this area. Only a few are able to have access to get there to see this proof. They said they cover this stuff up from the public because it doesn't fit with, the general science. So I think that is what's going on. I think there's several areas where they are hiding away these giants, the remains of these giants. And anytime they find them, they take over a site and remove them, and they silence this from the public. Now, dinosaurs, I think there could be something to that, even though there's a lot of speculation on if dinosaurs were real or not. I believe that there probably was some type of animalistic looking creatures remain of, well, I say that they were related to the Nephilims because the apocryphal books say that the Nephilims defiled animals as well as humans. So there could have been giant lizards or giant animal creatures walking around. Who knows how long ago? It didn't even, who knows? I'm not saying this happened millions of years ago like the scientists are trying to say. I'm saying this is probably something that happened who knows how many thousands of years ago, So overall, I would say this movie was okay. I mean, I give it like maybe a C plus or something, maybe even a C. It was okay. I mean, I checked it out. I didn't really check it out for entertainment, though. I have to admit, I really checked it out because I was interested in seeing if there's any clues. And these are some of the clues I picked up on. So let me know if you watched it and if you picked up on any clues. I'm going to leave a link if you want to check out my research on giants. I have a lot of interesting videos on giants because I used to dismiss the Bigfoot theories until I realized that the Bigfoot could have been actually Nephilim. So you're going to want to check out my giant playlist and get caught up on everything. Links in the comment section and description box. I'm also going to leave a link to my other channels, my social media, and my free email newsletters and much more. If you would like to support this channel, you can donate as little as $1. I'll leave a link for that as well. I also have a join membership button here on YouTube. Your support's going to help me get out much more videos and also get documentary style videos out. And you're going to help keep this channel online because they try to hide a lot of my content. So your being listener supported helps keep Feed Your Mind going. So thanks for your support and thanks for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Feed Your Mind signing off.